Hi, everyone. I'm so happy you joined us. Um, Today we have a special guest, and I want to remind you that we are now not on Facebook, but this is a newsletter that goes out. So at the end, Mary will let you know how to join our newsletter if you haven't, and so that you can start to get our newsletter. Um, I want to introduce Jacquolyn. Um, Give me your last name again,
McMurray.
McMurray. Okay, I knew it was a Mac, but it slipped my mind. It's a senior
Okay.
moment. Okay.
Yeah.
Jacquolyn, she's a new author for me, and so
Me too.
I'm really excited to get to know you, Jacquolyn. Um, you write Christmas contemporary romances, right?
Um, Most of what I've published in the past is
Okay, and
yeah,
some
yes.
historical fictions.
So some historical, and the Christmas books are not historical.
Okay, okay,
They're
contemporary.
clean and wholesome Christmas romances.
I have to tell everyone, Jacqueline is coming to us from Hawaii.
Yes,
Mhm.
She lives on a macadamia nut farm. Am I right?
That's correct.
I
Yes.
love chocolate covered macadamians. They're one of my favorites. Yeah.
yes. We
Oh,
have a bunch downstairs right now, and I'm trying not to think about them.
oh, I do. I love them. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I'd like to know a little bit more about you. I know you teach some online classes and do a little editing.
Mhm.
So, will you tell us where you are in Hawaii, and how long you've been there, and when did you start writing? Just let us know all about you, and we want to know about your most recent book too.
Okay. Um, my husband and I live, like Judy said, on a macadamia nut farm at the south end of the island of Hawaii, which is sometimes called the Big Island. We've been here since 1986 in the same old farmhouse on the same land. And I I've been published in romance so far. All of my books are romance. Um, they're novella length. Uh, I haven't published a full length. I have 3 Christmas novellas that are clean and wholesome. I have 1 historical romance published with Barber Publishing um, that is Christian inspirational romance. And my latest book was published last, I want to say November. I have to look at my notes. September of last year. I published a book called Sheltered from Love, which is actually a rewrite of a story I wrote earlier. I had the setting in Iowa where I was raised. And I decided that my setting just had to be Hawaii. So I moved it to Hilo, Hawaii.
Okay.
Okay.
And so that was it wasn't a big rewrite, but the setting changed. And that story is considered a later in life romance. And I like those mature characters getting a second chance, So that was a fun story to write. And the protagonist works in a animal shelter. And so there are, mostly dogs that I mentioned that, and a parrot.
And a parrot. There you go. I have a question. So you said that you do mostly pretty much novellas and you are a romance writer. So 2 questions on that. Do you ever plan to write a full-length novel?
Well, the project that I'm working on now, and the reason I won't publish this year, is because the book of my heart is to write about a historical period in Hawaiian history when they were first developing the ranches. And it's not a romance. It's a historical women's fiction with a strong protagonist and the character arc for her. It's a 3-book series.
Oh,
I'm 70,000 words into what will probably be a 90,000 word full length historical.
well,
And
nice.
the second book is plotted. The third book is an idea that's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
dating.
Okay.
Dancing
Okay.
around in your head.
Right. So my second question, since of course the full-length novel kind of went away from romance, but were you ever a member of Romance Writers of America? I don't even know if there was. Oh, were you?
Yes, yes, I was. I'm not any longer. I still belong to 3 writers associations. I joined
Okay.
the Women's Fiction Writers Association when I started writing women's fiction because the support is more in line with what I need.
Okay. Is that national?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look into it. Okay.
Are your characters in your fiction, are they older or are they going to be young characters?
My protagonist in book 1 for this historical is a married woman with almost 16-year-old. The daughter turns 16, so she's a bit older, married, and also has a young son. And the book 2 will be about her daughter. So the daughter will be younger, in her early 20s as the protagonist.
So these are historical books that will be more on the line of women's fictions, did you say?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, there's a big, there are some elements of romance,
Right.
like within the marriage, there would be some elements of romance. But it's really more the protagonist's journey rather than the getting together of the romance couple.
Right. Well, you should, I think women's fictions have come a long ways today. Don't you think, Mary?
Oh, yes. They're very popular.
Yeah, they are popular. So you should
Mhm.
do well. Great. Yeah.
Good. I'm
So,
historicals take, I knew they took longer, partly because it's much longer than what I'm accustomed to writing. But I go down rabbit holes with my research. I have
Yep.
to just
oh,
stop,
we all do.
just stop myself. And
Yeah, that's not exclusive to historical, believe me, because I do contemporary, but man, I can go down some large rabbit holes, very
Just-
large.
just looking up one thing, right? And then you get interested and you're looking up the next thing and the
Right.
next thing. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
That's the way it goes. So, do you have children that live in Hawaii too, or are you just you and your husband?
We raised 2 kids here. We have a 43-year-old son who lives with his family in Seattle and a daughter who lives outside Seattle with her family. So we have
Oh.
4 grandchildren. I spend quite a lot of time in Washington State.
Yeah.
Quite a lot.
I love
One
Washington
way to
State.
fly. I have one more question. You must like living on an island. I'm not sure I could handle that.
Because yeah, I mean, a lot of people can't. You have to figure out what things you miss, and you do those things when you're traveling. So if I want to go to a big theater, I can go to Honolulu, which is also a plane ride,
Yeah.
or I can settle into community theater and just appreciate that, or go to a school production and appreciate that. And so I'm not a big shopper, so I don't miss that part at all.
I'm not either.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've been here since '86. It's worked for me. Our daughter talks about being raised on an island quite a lot, and that she's confined to this island, and and her friends are like, "Well, poor you. You were raised in Hawaii."
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't notice it, and perhaps that's because I'm retired from my my teaching job, so I'm able to buy plane tickets and go to the city, as often want
Right.
to. Yeah.
Is it very expensive to fly to the other islands, or is it fairly cheap?
You know, it goes up and down. So
Mhm.
sometimes it'll be over 100 each way, which, you know, that's kind of pricey if you're going to just go for the weekend. We laugh because when we first moved here, we could buy these coupon books and the flights were $25 each.
Whoa,
So,
nice.
yeah.
How things change.
Things
Mhm.
change. Yeah.
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 Do you spend more time writing, or do you spend more time on your online classes and editing services?
You know, I more time writing at this point because once I got into this historical, I realized I couldn't take on all these editing clients. So now I just do maybe mostly for friends, and I might edit one book every 2 months or something like that. And I just set aside like 3 or 4 days in a row so I can read the book, you know, pretty
Do you
continuously.
charge a lot?
Well, for the friends, it's usually trades, you know, so I'm
Mhm.
actually not charging anymore, but I'm also not taking on
New
clients. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And even the online teaching, I haven't taught an online class in a while, for the same reason. My critique partners keep me in line, and you know, you have to work on the historical, you know, so
Right.
so
It's
I'm not doing it, and I'm actually not doing a lot of social media things. I enjoy it sometimes, but sometimes I just, you know, it's trying to get that balance. I'm sure you both
Yeah,
too, right? Do you write, or do you do Facebook posts, or do you
Right.
write, or do you?
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I have to tell myself, Facebook words do not count toward my word count of the day.
They don't
So
count.
stay off.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So give us a couple of your titles of your Christmas novella, because the season's coming up.
The season's coming up. It is. Well, I have three. I actually have a book cover to bundle those three,
Oh, great.
which I haven't done, which was supposed to be done in October, but we're only halfway through the month, so
That's
I
right.
might still get it done. So one of them is called Always on Christmas, and the next one's called Christmas at the Aloha Cafe, with, again, that one has more mature characters. And then the last one is called Wanted, A Groom for Christmas. And it's almost a YA. It's a young girl who, kind of based on watching our daughter plan her wedding, it's almost like the groom isn't even important. It's about the dress, it's
Wedding.
which I actually sewed for our daughter's wedding. It's about the decorations, it's about the guest list and the cake. And so that story is it was a fun one to write, because this young lady has her wedding totally planned, but she
Wow.
doesn't have a groom.
Oh, how cute. Oh,
That would be
okay.
me,
Kind of
my first
reminds-
wedding.
Kind of reminds me, Mary she wrote a novel, and it's the dress, the wedding dress.
Mhm.
So, you know, those are interesting perspective to do a story in that way. Yeah.
It's all about the dress.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, our time has come to an end,
Okay.
and it's been fun talking to you
Yes.
and getting to know you. And Mary, you will have stuff at the end of the video for people to find Jacquolyn, right?
Right. And so if you can send me like your Amazon page and things like that, but I will have that
Do you
all at
want
the
the
end
link
of the video. Yeah.
The link to my author page?
Right.
Okay.
But I will put all of that at the end, and I will also, this will go out on our newsletter, And then I will also have it on YouTube with links to join our newsletter. Okay?
Sounds great. Well, very nice to meet you both in person. I've only met you on Facebook, so.
Well,
Yeah, I
Zoom.
know. Nice to meet you in person too, see your face.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Have a good day,
Yeah,
everyone.
thank you.